Cherry sweets. The story of the product you see on the screen began in 1898, when, for the first time in San Francisco, a factory was established for the production of cherry candy. More than 100 years later, this family business is still working. 9 varieties of sweets are made here, and the production of each candy lasts 12 days. The initial ingredients are liquid sugar, corn syrup, and corn starch. All of them are heated and then mixed. Cherry juice and natural flavors are then added to the resulting mixture. As all the sweets of this factory are made in the form of hearts, the prepared mixture is sent to a special equipment, which pours it into the molds. It should be noted that the machine fills 8,000 molds per minute. The molds are also made from cornstarch. Future candy then spends 2 days in a special room where it's cooled and dried by steam. After this, the sweets are separated from the molds by a special machine without human intervention. On a conveyor belt, they are sent to the workshop where they're heated again with steam. The surface of the candy becomes sticky, which is needed because in the next stage they're covered with sugar. This allows the candies not to stick to each other. The hardest job is that of the person who fills the boxes with almost ready sweets, as he lifts about 27 kilograms every minute. After the candy settles at room temperature, it's sent to the panning room. This means that the sweets are stirred in a steel drum, adding syrup and sugar little by little until a hard crust of sugar forms on the surface. The only thing left to do is to let them cool, polish them in the next drum, and then pack them. French palmier cookies. The production of these puff pastries starts, of course, with the preparation of the dough. All the ingredients are mixed in the industrial mixer, then the factory operator cuts the dough into pieces of the same size and places them on a conveyor belt. They are placed in the extruder, a machine that forms fine, uniform strips of dough. A layer of butter is then placed on top of the strip, which is also formed by the extruder. Then the dough is folded to cover the layer of butter, and the next machine squeezes the layers together, mixing them. The next step is making the laminated dough. The strips are stacked on top of each other and sprinkled with sugar to form 6 layers. The only thing left to do is to fold the dough in the shape of hearts and bake it. Every day, about 1 million of these pastry products are made at such a factory. If necessary, the products are immersed in chocolate to give them an extra flavor and an original appearance. After the hearts have cooled down, the workers pack them in plastic boxes and they're sent to the store. Donuts. At the donut factory, it all starts with the dough. In Krispy Kreme, the factory you can see on the screen, a secret formula is used to create the products. The recipe hasn't changed since 1937. The dough is mixed in an industrial mixer and then stretched. At the same time, the adjacent workshop begins to mix the glazed dough. The mixed dough is placed in the extruder, which squeezes it out in the form of the future round donuts. The next step is the heat treatment. The donuts are first baked and then fried in oil. Special equipment turns them over so that the products are fried uniformly. Once fried, the donuts move along the conveyor belt and excess oil comes out of them. Finally, they're sent to a machine that covers them with a glaze that's been prepared beforehand. At this point, the production process is over. We just have to wait for the donuts to cool down to put them in boxes. Necco wafers. In each package of these sweets there are 38 pieces, which can have different flavors. The Necco Wafers factory produces only one flavor at a time, which means different batches of sweets are prepared one by one. In the first stage, large amounts of powdered sugar are mixed with food colorants and flavor additives. In this case, they add a mint additive and a pink dye to create a flavor called winter green. Then, corn syrup and binder are added to the mixture. In this case, it's a vegetable gum and gelatin dissolved in water. The mixture is stirred for 8 minutes before it thickens, and then the workers transfer it to the dough roller. There, a thin, uniform strip of the mixture is formed. Watch as the workers constantly spread cornstarch on the equipment so that the sweet mixture doesn't stick to it. At the same stage, other equipment first stamps the company logo and then shapes the future candies. The product is transported to a multi-stage drying tunnel by means of a conveyor belt. The sweets then pass through the machine 13 times in an hour. Then, the candies are taken to a special room to cool down. The same level of humidity and temperature is maintained there, so that the candy obtains the correct consistency. After the quality control, the sweets of different flavors are mixed and sent to the packaging line. Cornflakes. The production process of this fast and healthy breakfast is divided into 2 separate stages. The first is to obtain the corn grits, and the second is to produce corn flakes from the grits. At some factories, as in this case, only the second stage is carried out, as the corn grits are brought ready for use. First, they're cleaned of impurities. For this, a grain separator is used, and then the grains are washed. The grits are scalded with hot steam and given time to rest. After a while, the grits are sent to the heat treatment machine, where they're mixed with a salt and sugar solution. They're treated with heat for 2 hours, after which the mixture is sent to the drying equipment. There it spends 6 to 8 hours at high temperatures. In the next step, the lumps are removed and the mixture is stamped to produce fine flakes. They're passed through a sieve and then roasted. After this, all that's left is to cool the finished product, classify it, and then pack it. Chocolate. The factory, whose work is shown in the video, produces up to 2,000 chocolate bars a day. All production processes are carried out here, from the processing of the cocoa beans to the filling of the finished products. The cocoa beans are grown on the plantations and are large enough to be broken to extract valuable cocoa seeds. They're brought in 70-kilogram bags to the factory. Using special equipment, the workers grind the beans into a homogeneous mass that resembles a powder. The next step is processing it in a special grinding machine, which takes about 8 hours. Although the mixture already looks like liquid chocolate, it still has a long way to go to get the right flavor and consistency. After processing, the sugar is added and the mix is then transferred to special rollers. At this stage, the mixture is enriched with air and becomes thicker. The future chocolate is then hardened and completed with different fillings and flavor additives. The final steps are filling the special molds, cooling, and packaging. Hey, stop being lazy, it's time to use that brain of yours. Welcome to Brain Time. Incredible facts from the past, the present, and even the future. The power of nature and wild animals, amazing facts and unsolved mysteries. You'll find all this and much more here. Subscribe now, you won't regret it.